Hi, welcome to Believe in Yourself seminar. This is Atugono. Thank you for very much for tuning in. Right, you've made the right choice to even click on this video, and now it's opportunity for you to be empowered. Empowerment. I learned empowerment comes from information. Because if you don't know certain things, the difference between successful people and poor people, people in poverty, right? Is that the successful one knows better information than the other one does, right? So information, how do you obtain information? By, clicking here. Now you're obtaining information. Now we're going to start empowering you. So today is to empower you, to encourage you, to motivate you, and to keep that, to build that drive inside of you. Because one thing I learned, you don't buy drive from the mall. You don't go to the mall and buy drive, but then drive is something that is created within you. So thanks for tuning in. Believe in you, right? So so here's the case, right? What I've discovered in life, right, is like each individual, every single person, right? Every single person is like a captain of his own ship. See, if you have to look at your life this way, right? Your life is a ship on its own, right? And it has a predetermined destination. It's not determined like it's written down that that's where you're gonna end up. But then it's how you choose. You choose your destination to where you wanna end up, right? And how do you choose your destination? I'm gonna ask you a question. Like most of you might not know this, right? But the question is, do you know why you are here? Do you know why you're here? See, this question was asked to Albert Frankenstein. I answered the question and said, we are here primarily to be of service to others. That's it. As individuals, we are here to be of service to others, right? Other people. What we are here is to be of service to our family, right? To our friends, to the community around us, to the world, right? Every single individual is created to make the living of another individual much easier, much better. That's why if we look back in time, right, we see how things evolve, right? From back in the days when they were on horses, now that we drive cars. Back in the days when they were just walking everywhere, now we fly around the world. So we're here to make the living of one another much better. So my service to you right now is to give you this information that you might be empowered, that you might be moved, that you have an opportunity for you to change your life. So I am very grateful that you're here today and you're able to listen to this. So what I'm trying to get is, since we're here to be of service to others, right? So you gotta understand that the service that you are to render, only you can make that service. Why? Because there's only one you. There's only one you. When God created us, right? He wrote the blueprint, like how when they're creating a building, right? They write down a blueprint, right? But then if you want to make the same building again, all you have to do is take the blueprint. But when God created you, right? He took the blueprint and he put it in the fire and he burnt it. So that means there's only one you. So the service you might gonna provide, right? Even if you're gonna be a musician, an artist, or a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever you're gonna do, it's only you. It's only you that's gonna give it in a certain way. It might be similar, but then you have a service that is just made for you. So what am I trying to get to is that we are in control of our ship. See, your life is a ship, right? Whether you're in it, whether you are aware of it or not, your life is a ship. Right? So the point of this video is that so that you get to understand that you are the captain of your ship. So wherever your ship goes, you're the one who's in charge of it. And if you lose control of it at any point, you've lost the plot. You've lost the game. You're out. See, a great speaker said, like, life is like the Super Bowl. It's like a Champions League every single day. Life is a game, right? So, but then that game is in the Champions League every single day. Right? So at the end of the day, it's either you win or you lose. But then the game never stops. It's every single day. Right? So what I'm trying to get to you to understand is that, see, most of us, right, we go through life, right? We go through life, we just get by. We just get by. We just go wherever the waves takes us, right? We ready to just start blaming other people for what's wrong with our lives, right? We're ready to blame the government for what's wrong with our life. We're ready to blame our parents for what's wrong with our life. We're ready to just start pointing fingers. But then the real finger should be here, because your ship is where you are. Right? You are the controller of your ship, right? If you take your hands out, you put them in front of you, you have to understand that wherever this ship goes, right, you're the one in control. See, we like the Titanic, right? The reason why the Titanic went to sink, right? The Titanic went to sink, one, because the people, you had a certain destination to where it is going, right? Like most of us, we know, we want to be certain things, right? But then, we are not alert. See, that's what happened with the Titanic. They were not alert, right? The ship was, was going to wherever it's going, New York, right? But then the people themselves were not alert. So they didn't see what was ahead. So they got hit. And that hit made them sink, right? So this might be the same thing that might happen for you, for your life, right? You might take a hit and you might sink. Why? Because you're not in charge of this ship. Because you're not in control of this ship. So this is what I'm trying to say. Like, you have to come to a point where you take the ship, where you take charge of this ship, where you become responsible of this ship, where you say, you know what, my life is in my hands. See, the children of Israel, they were moving to a promised land, right? Like the Bible story, they were moving to a promised land, but it took them 40 years to get there. But then most of the people that were in that group, they died. None of them entered the promised land, but they all died in the wilderness. Only their children went to enter the promised land. Why? They had a certain destination to where they were going, but the things they were engaging in their daily lives, in that journey, instead of taking 11 days, right, their mentality was so wrong that it took them 40 years, right? Their attitude was wrong. They were so wrong that it took them 40 years, right? The way, the things they engage in themselves, right, it was so wrong, so it took them 40 years to get to a promised land. So that's the thing that's going to happen with most of us. That's the thing that's already happening with a lot of us. You know, you look into the world, right? The older people out there, you know, I'm still young, right? The older people out there, some of them are just getting by. Some of them, they had dreams, but then they just gave up, because they were not in charge of this ship, right? So what I'm trying to say is, like, you have to come to a point where you know that you're in charge of the ship. So wherever the ship goes, right, your family, your friends, your relatives, whosoever, everyone else can leave. But then the only problem about your ship is that you in it. And once you're in your ship, you cannot get out. The only time you can get out is when you die. But then, you know, nobody's ready to die. I'm not ready to die. You are not ready to die too. You're still too young. Still got a lot of energy inside of you. You still have skills and abilities that you haven't discovered. You still have a lot going for you. So nobody's ready to die. So we have to come to a point where we take charge of this ship. Be the captain. Yep. I took honor. I'm the captain of this ship. You gotta be the captain of your ship too. So we find out, we discover what it is that we have, what it is that we can bring on the market, what it is that we can put on the world, right? And be in charge of this ship. Because whether it crashes or whether it rises, you in it. But then you have to make the decision. I choose that my ship rises. I choose that my ship gets to its promised land. I choose that my ship gets to where I want to get to. I choose that my ship could be of great service to the people on board, my family, my sisters, you know, my friends, and the world around me. So you gotta. So I'm just gonna encourage you. I'm just gonna say, you know what, your life is in your hands. The reason why you've clicked here is because the universe wants you to get this information, but it's up to you to choose this information or not. I told you the reason why people succeed in life, it's not because one is smarter than the other. Now it's simply because one knows something that the other one doesn't. Now that you know this information, what are you going to do with it? Thank you for tuning in. Believe in yourself. Believe in you. And